Hey there, friends. I hope you are enjoying your Easter Resurrection Sunday weekend. It has been one long week for me. I am so glad that you're here and that we can talk about some things that really are important in terms of what the Bible has said for centuries. Now, science is revealing some truths that are key to long lasting transformation. But where did they get their information from? Well, let's just jump right into it. The interesting thing is that so much information is out there, and a lot of times it's hard to decipher what you should really take to heart, what's true, what's not. I don't know if it's just me or if you've ever caught yourself thinking, why am I still doing this thing that I said I wouldn't do anymore? Whether it's allowing toxic people to influence your habits or your life, or talking yourself out of your life purpose, or maybe you're just spinning in circles and repeating those same old patterns and cycles over and over again. We've all been there. But guess what? The Bible has given us the blueprint long before science ever caught up to this truth, and I want to share that with you. The Bible still has the answers to our deepest concerns, those questions that we long to have answers for. And as we navigate and live in this ever-changing world, it's so good to have some truth that you can lean on. And the Word of God, the Word in the Bible is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And the way I look at it is, if it worked for Jesus, it's good enough for me too. And today we're going to be talking about just three, because there's so many, but just three biblical principles that modern science now agrees with. And they're total game changers. And if you've got ears to hear and a heart ready to apply these key principles, grab a notebook and pen or a Bible and let's jump in. Hi friends, welcome to Start Living Sustainable. I'm your host, Cynthia Harvey Brown. In this podcast, I'm going to help you discover sustainable ways to improve your overall health and well-being in your home. And I'm going to show you how to do this without spending a lot of time or money, all in partnership with God. Yes, if you're ready to show yourself some love, experience a new level of wellness, build faith, and align your values with God's vision for your life, then you're in the right place. Pour out the diet soda and we should talk about those yoga pants. Let's have some serious fun in today's episode. So as you listen today, this is your time with me, and I am glad you're here. I want you to imagine that the version of yourself that you keep hoping to become, the healthier, freer, clearer thinking woman God created, that version of you is not far away. So let me be straight with you. If you've been feeling like the woman that you want to become is close, but somehow that version of you is just out of reach, maybe it's not about doing more. Maybe you've just been missing the right kind of support, the right kind of encouragement, the kind that reminds you what you're hoping for isn't far-fetched, and that God already dropped the keys. The ball is in our court. He's given us all free will and power. We have the authority. So just imagine what would shift if you started living like these promises are actually true, because they are. And I want to share these three principles, these keys that will make you want to shout, wait, that's all I had to do? Now listen. I'm not coming to you from some mountaintop of perfection. I'm walking this thing out daily myself. There are still moments when I catch myself thinking things that absolutely do not line up with the truth. Like I'm not doing enough to reach the moms that care about their health and their family, and why bother? And sometimes, especially when I'm talking to other women, other thoughts that sometimes sneak in are, maybe this only works for health conscious women who have more time, more energy, more faith. But here's the truth. Any mom, no matter how busy, tired, or unsure she feels, can experience real transformation in her family when she begins making simple, and I didn't say easy, but simple, consistent lifestyle changes. And it's not about doing everything, it's about doing what will have the greatest impact in your life to improve your overall health and well being holistically. And it really is just one step at a time. And let me tell you, those thoughts can become so familiar that we become comfortable with them, accepting them even. And that doesn't make them true. When you want to make changes in any area of your life that you know will improve your quality of living, not only is it doable, but the effort that you put into it and the support that you get to gird you up, it is worth it. I find that I'm constantly having to go back to what the scripture tells me so that I can offset some of those thoughts, because it tells us to take those thoughts captive and hand them over to God, to the truth. And sometimes I even catch myself in the moment. But many times it's hours later that I realize, why am I still thinking the same thing? And sometimes I just need a snack and a nap before I even realize what's going on. And I have that moment of quiet and peace. And then there's times I just have to remind myself, whoop, whoop, come on back, Cynthia, to what the word says is true. I have to arrest that lie, take a deep breath, and next time, just believe that all things are possible with God. This episode isn't from a perfect person. It's from someone committed to my transformation and yours. So let's talk about these 3 keys to lasting transformation that psychologists and scientists are starting to see can make a difference in the way we think. The first one is, and of course the Bible has been saying it for centuries, but the first one is to renew your mind. Romans 12:2 doesn't say try harder. It says be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Science calls this neuroplasticity, but God calls it obedience and transformation. You see, your brain is literally wired to adapt, but you have the choice what it adapts to. So this whole I've always been like this narrative, no, replace it, then say it out loud and say, God, I choose your truth today. I'm not my past. I'm a new person. I am being renewed. I'm your workmanship. That's how you change your story and renew your mind. The second key is to speak life. Proverbs 18:21, it's not just a coffee mug verse. You've heard it before. Life and death are in the power of your tongue. So every word that you speak, every word that you say, especially to yourself, it's either planting life or it's pouring toxins on your future. And you all know I'm not about toxic anything. So I want to encourage you to start saying, I am being made new. I am being renewed every day. I walk in wisdom and grace. And my home is filled with peace and purpose. You're not faking it. You're training your heart and your soul to agree with what God has already said about you. Remember that. And the third is to let peace reign. Let it reign in your heart, in your home, in your life, because hustle and grind, it's really not a fruit of the Spirit. Colossians 3:15 says, let peace rule. Not visit, not beg for a seat at the table, but rule in your heart. And science now says that our brains and our hearts, when they're synced up, that's where we find peace. God said it first. He calls it shalom. And it's not just calm, it's wholeness. That means nothing is missing, nothing is broken. So pause, breathe, and ask yourself, am I moving from a place of pressure or from a place of peace? Then do the thing that aligns with the fruit of the Spirit, not the fear of missing out. Apostle Paul wrote more than half of the New Testament, and in Romans 7:15 he wrote, I do not understand what I do. For what I want to do, I do not do, but what I hate, I do. That tells us that we all have the capacity to try and do better. And when we don't, we can't beat ourselves up or belittle ourselves or think that we're just not capable of doing those things that we have in our heart to do. Just know that as human beings, we all make mistakes. But the important thing is that you learn from your mistakes, you get up, and you keep moving forward. All right, let's recap. The first thing is to renew your mind daily. Don't just let your thoughts float around and run the show. Two is you got to speak life into whatever that thing is that you're believing for. What you say is shaping your world. So plant what you want to grow. And the third key to lasting transformation is to let peace rule. That hustle might get you an applause, but peace brings us into alignment with our true self. And these aren't just rules to follow, they're truths to live by and to live in, and they're promises with built-in power. And if you've got ears to hear, don't overthink this. Just start doing this. Start slowly, and you'll start catching yourself and replacing those thoughts. So look, if you're tired of spinning your wheels and you're ready to actually walk into the transformation God has promised you and me, it's ours. But don't try and do it solo. This is a community. Let's get together. Let's do this together. That's what this podcast and my Healthy Home and Body Reset coaching is all about. I'd love to walk alongside you, starting with my free wellness call. You see, this call is so important for us to begin with because this is where we connect and we talk about where you are, where you want to be, and the truth that will get you there. Because the renewed, grounded, purpose-filled woman, you know, that version of you, keep envisioning her. She's not some far-off fantasy. That's you, walking in the truth that was already yours. Let me ask you, are you ready to stop circling the same mountain and finally create the kind of life, improved health, and peace you know deep down is possible for you? If you're nodding your head yes, I want to invite you to join me in your first one-on-one private coaching session with me. It's designed to support women like you who are ready to take bold action and walk in the kind of transformation that lasts. You'll look back years from now and your family will thank you. You will be so glad that you invested in yourself because science is lagging so far behind what we have the ability to take care of right now. Are you ready for this? Because this is where clarity meets strategy and truth meets the transformation you're looking for. Let's take that vision in your heart and build it together. Book your session with me now and let's get together to work on your breakthrough. Until next time, remember to take your thoughts captive, speak like it matters, and let peace reign. Let it rule. Let it lead you because, friend, it's your time to experience transformation in your home and your health. I want to encourage you to share this episode with a friend and also let me know how you might go about using one of these key principles in your life. Tag me on my social media, Instagram, and I'll tag you back. I'll see you back here for another episode next week of Start Living Sustainable. Thanks for being with me today.